Growing up in the Philippines, I would help my mom cook Filipino food. Years later, when I became vegan, I learned that Filipino food can also be vegan without losing its soul. I wanted to share this discovery with family, friends, and with you. Kain na! Let's eat! Hi everyone! Welcome to a special episode. We're here in Manila, Philippines, here at Marie's lovely home. Let me introduce you to Marie. Marie is the mastermind behind the gourmet food company Kitchen Revolution that specializes in plant-based holistic cooking classes, workshops, and lectures. Hi Marie, thank you for having us here.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited. And I asked you before to choose a dish that we will feature today. So you chose Arroz a la Cubana. So why that dish?
Okay, I grew up eating Spanish Filipino food. And I grew up eating Arroz a la Cubana maybe every week. And back then I wasn't vegan. And so to be able to have a vegan version of comfort food that I grew up eating is just so nice. We are using largely traditional ingredients. Except for one, we are using TVP or texturized vegetable protein instead of the meat. But to help give our arroz a la cubana the right color, we want it kind of reddish orange. We're using achuete seeds or annatto seeds. So we have 2 tablespoons of this. We extract it with water and we add some tomato paste. We have 2 tablespoons of tomato paste and 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. You can use coconut aminos or Bragg's aminos if you're free. This is maybe about a cup to a cup and a half of diced onions. Garlic, obviously all Filipino food always has to have some garlic. And our TVP, so this is going to be our meat substitute. So you can buy this from any health food store. You buy them and I buy granules and we need to rehydrate them. So here we've got some raisins and then we usually top it off with some saba banana. And then just wild card condiment to serve next to it is some pickled relish. I grew up eating that, so some people might find it weird, but I think you should try it before you judge it.
Something of personal touch.
Yeah,
Yes.
pickled relish.
And then for seasoning?
And just salt and pepper, so in case the soy sauce isn't enough, we have some salt and we have some pepper.
Alright, so that's pretty much it. The only thing that may be unfamiliar is a TVP, which they can buy at health food stores anyway.
Yes, and it turns out to be even cheaper to use than actual meat. So
yeah.
So you should just do this because it's cheaper and it's better for you too.
More economical. So a lot of people think, especially those who haven't tried vegan cooking yet, is that it's more expensive.
Yeah.
But this is actually more affordable than using meat. So what's the first step?
Okay, so now we need to add our 2 tablespoons of achuete or annatto seeds in our saucepan. We want to bring this up to a boil, and the heat will actually help extract the color from the achuete. Okay, so now that our water is boiled, we just need to shut it and let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes while the water does its thing and just extracts the color. So we'll just cover it and while this is going on, you can like chop your onions, chop your garlic, prepare your saba banana. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes. So what we need to do now is want to strain it and give it a good bashing. So I'm going to ask you to use a spoon and bash it, the back of a spoon. So it's better to use metal or wooden, a metal or wooden spoon rather than like a spatula, because you want like the hardness of the spoon to bash against the sieve. So now you can see how
really
like
cool,
it's getting a lot redder.
Very vibrant now. And they can get achuete and natto seeds almost everywhere in Manila, and then in the Bay Area at Asian grocery store.
Now that it's out of the hot water, you can even use your fingers and then just kind of rub it. It's actually kind of hot.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I have.
So this one will actually, so you're not wasting all the seeds.
Right.
You can just kind of rub it in.
Because that's pretty much it. Right after that, you have to discard the seeds.
Yeah, you can't really eat it. Dip it back in to just like get as much of the color as possible, and then we can just completely remove it. Next thing we want to do is mix in our tomato paste and soy sauce. So I'll put it in with my little spatula, and I've got a little whisk there. You can whisk it in.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so it's actually good that the water is hot, so it'll help dissolve the tomato paste. So we also have 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, or you can use cocoa aminos or Bragg's aminos. So we'll mix that in as well. Okay, so now we are ready to make our arroz a la cubana. So here you just need a big frying pan, and we're gonna add our oil. So just a neutral oil. Add in our onions. And I usually start off with onions before I do the garlic, just because we don't want to burn the garlic.
You don't want to burn that part, yeah.
We'll put in.
This is a safer way to do it.
Since we have soy sauce in our liquid, we want to be conservative about the salt. I usually put salt when we saute, so we don't have to do that right now. But we want to put a pinch of pepper.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
So we'll put that in. We have 4 cloves of chopped garlic. So we'll put it in. I'll help you there, for sure.
I love lots of garlic.
Yeah. I guess I was a bit conservative with the garlic because we have a lot of onion anyway. So you can see the onion is getting a little bit brown, and that's also kind of nice. At this point, we can add our TVP. You'll notice that when you poured in the TVP, it had like a crunchy sound. And so that means that we do, like, that's the reason why we have this liquid, it's to rehydrate it. So it's usually, that's a cup of TVP. This is a cup of the hot water with like the soy sauce and tomato paste. So it's 1:1. Yeah. And then just stir it through. It's always a nice sound.
I love that sound. Basically, TVP is dry.
Yeah. And that's also a good thing, is that you can buy a lot of it and then you can store it in your pantry. So like it's not like a frozen thing that you need to keep and like freeze defrost. Like this one is just like pour it in and add water.
Right.
So look how nice and red we have. How nice and red it is. You can add another pinch of pepper. I'm always a fan of like the more pepper the better. So we know it's done when you don't see any more of the liquid.
It smells good.
If we didn't put any of the achweta seed, it would just be a bit brown and would just not look as appetizing as it does now.
Yeah, it looks beautiful right now.
So we can add our raisins. So other things you can add in, like if you grew up cooking arroz a la cubana with like peas or carrots or potatoes, you can add it in. I would add it in together with the TVP and then cook it a little bit longer so that the potatoes and carrots get soft.
Right.
If you use frozen peas, you can just put it in and just let it cook till it gets soft. We need to taste it before we serve it to anyone, so we make sure it's good. So you can just go ahead and have it. Make sure to get a bit of the raisin, because obviously we want like salty sweet. At this point, yeah, and I mean it's meaty. If you feel that it needs more salt, you can totally add more salt. So that's why we were conservative with the salt. We didn't add any during the cooking, just in case.
You can add that later.
So that's it, but we're not yet done. I mean, arroz a la cubana isn't arroz a la cubana without any saba. To prepare our saba banana, we want roasted. Okay, these are big ones. You can add as much as you want. I love my banana in my food, so we just want to peel it. Okay. And we're gonna slice it. So we just there, and I'm gonna do the other one. Thank you. You want to preheat your oven, by the way, to 400 Fahrenheit. If you just have a toaster oven, that's also really good. Okay, so once you're done slicing your bananas, you want to put it on a baking sheet that's lined with non-stick baking paper, or in America you call it parchment paper. So we can just put it on. I'm just using a small baking pan just because we don't have a lot of banana over here. If you don't have a spray can, you can use like a brush and just brush on the oil. If you want to do it like old school, just use your hands. So just like rub it in. So this guy works by just give it a good spray. Then we do the other side, give it another spray. And now we put it in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. Okay. But maybe halfway through you want to turn it, so when you see it get caramelized, you flip it. This is how our bananas look after they're roasted. So you really want to see some nice like brown bits. We'll add in get the best looking ones, and then you can.
Oh, I love that pop of color.
Traditionally, this arroz a la cubana is eaten with fried egg. We're not doing that for this version.
It's simpler anyway without it.
And it's hearty. But the wild card condiment that I usually eat it, I ate this growing up, is to serve it with pickled relish. Might be weird. That's not really Pinoy, but I grew up eating it that
So
way.
it's still Pinoy for you.
Medyo, yeah.
Moment of truth.
Yeah.
Let's begin. Okay, so do you eat the relish like
Together.
Together? Okay.
You get a little bit, and then put it on your fork, and then how about this? Maybe get a bit of the banana.
Sarap. Yeah, it actually
How's the pickled relish?
complements well.
Yeah.
It complements well, especially if you like savory, salty, sweet.
Yeah.
This is a perfect combination. It's so good. Thank you so much, Chef Marie, for having us here at your lovely home and for teaching us such a simple yet satisfying dish called Arroz a la Cubana. And for other recipes, feel free to go on AstigVegan.com and also on social media, Facebook and Instagram under Astig Vegan. But also, if you want to learn more about Kitchen Revolution recipes, they can go to...
Yeah, go to my website, kitchenrevolution.ph. I teach cooking classes here in Manila. And my schedules are on my website. You can check me out on Instagram. So please, if you make this, tag me. I want to see your version.
Thank you so much for watching. My name is RG at Astig Vegan
And Marie Gonzalez Black from Kitchen Revolution.
Showing you that Filipino food can be vegan, healthy, and delicious without losing its soul. Signing out from Manila, kain na, let's eat.
Let's eat.